Hello, my name is Jamie and I want to welcome you back to my channel where we review, demo, and discuss makeup and give commentary on the beauty community as a whole. So guys, it has been a little bit of a minute since I've last uploaded, and there's a couple of factors as to why, but one of the main ones is I had no idea what I wanted to film. Like, I had a bit of a writer's block when it came to doing YouTube videos. So instead of just uploading any old thing with like a half-assed idea, I figured I would just hold off and wait until I had something a little bit more fleshed out. So what I'm going to be doing today is answering beauty YouTuber tag questions. Now, if you're not familiar with what tag questions are, typically how this is a beauty YouTuber will put together a set of questions and then they'll answer them, and then they'll tag another beauty YouTuber and have them answer those questions. And then it just kind of passes down the lane. I, unfortunately, don't have any YouTuber friends yet, hopefully one day, but I just Googled beauty YouTuber tag and a bunch of different websites came up with tag questions for me to answer today with you guys. So the questions that I found came from the newberrygirl.com. Just so you guys know, I am blind as a bat without my glasses on. Like, I don't even know how I do my makeup without glasses because my vision is that bad. So if I look down, it's at my iPad to actually read the questions. So that way, you know, I can see them, but it's not to be rude or anything like that. I just need to be able to see. But the newberry.com came up, newberrygirl.com came up with questions called the Boujee Beauty Guru Tag. All right, so I primed my eyes with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. And for my eye look today, I'm going to be using the Eternal Eclipse palette by Lunar Beauty. I'm going to be doing makeup as I answer the questions. My look today is going to be a little bit more on the basic side because I have a meeting at my kid's school, so I can't go in there with like a full cut crease fantasy. I have to kind of keep it a little bit more business friendly, if that makes sense. All right, so let's dive into the first question. The first question is, would you rather buy one expensive luxury item or buy several items with the same amount of money? I think by and large, that largely depends on what I want at the time. Like, I don't feel as though I am stuck in either affordable brands or higher end brands. One thing I will say, I don't dive into like luxury beauty. Like, I know a lot of the fashion houses have their own makeup brands like Chanel, Gucci, like all of that. I don't dive into those because I firmly believe that when it comes to those type of makeup products, you're paying more for the name than you are the actual quality of the product. Exceptions to that would be makeup brands, like brands that focus on makeup primarily, such as like Pat McGrath would be a great example of that. That's definitely a luxury beauty brand, but it has a fantastic reputation with consistent quality, at least based off of what I hear. So I think it really depends on what I want at the time. If there is, say there's a $60 palette that I really, really want, I'm going to go buy for that. But if there isn't, I'm going to go take my ass to Ulta and go right to the drugstore section and buy like a whole face worth of products. Okay, I'm just taking the shade Dusk and putting it in the crease of my eye and just blending it out towards my brow bone. So the next question is, when it comes to beauty products, do you believe the phrase, you get what you pay for? You know, I think in a lot of ways, yes. And in some ways, no. I think this is what I think. Higher end stuff isn't always worth the price, but there's a lot of drugstore products that are very, very inexpensive that will surprise you. So when it comes to lower end products, like, no, you don't always get what you pay for. Like, you can get some really nice quality items for an inexpensive price. But with some of the higher end items, they can be a ripoff. At least from the reviews I see on YouTube. Because I see a lot of people posting about how they paid $60 for a Natasha Denona palette, or even more than that, $65 for a palette, and then they walk away disappointed with it. But I'm less likely to see people complaining about the quality of drugstore. But on the other hand, when it comes to specifically eyeshadows, I think when you pay a little bit more money, you will get a better quality product. I think your safest bet is like the high end, like mid-range. I think when it comes to mid-range, you'll get consistent quality products for a fair price. Of course, like, price is all relative, right? Like, what I think is affordable may be like highly expensive to somebody else. But I consider mid-range to be products between, say, $30 and $50. All right, I'm just kind of going into the outer corner of my eye with the shade Smoke, which is like a deep gray tone. And I'm using a medium fluffy brush for that. All right, so the next question is, what's the most expensive beauty item you've purchased with your own money? I'm going to answer this in two different ways. I'm going to answer it with what I have personally spent, and then I'm going to answer it with what I received as a gift. So the most expensive beauty item I've purchased was the Life's a Drag facelift palette from Lunar Beauty. That cost $48. And I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting that I've purchased that was more expensive than that, but I can't identify it. So I think that would be it. Now, the most expensive beauty gift that I received is my makeup train case. I have a rolling train case that has a handle and 4 different stacked sections that I received from my husband for my birthday a year ago. And that cost, I want to say $80. I'm going back into my upper crease with the shade Dusk. Now I'm going in with a smaller blending brush with the shade Flare, and I'm just adding a little bit more highlight to the brow bone. Next, I'm going in with the shade Sandstorm on my actual lid. I'm going to go in with the shade Starry Eyed next, and I'm going to be using medium flat brush for that. And last, I am going to go in with the shade Adamantium in the inner corner to the beginning of the lid, and I'm using a really small flat brush for that. And just to deepen up the outer corner, I'm going in with the shade Night Sky. That's like a black. Ooh, I am glad that I did not do my foundation first, because the fallout from that shade Adamantium is real. So I'm just gonna wipe away the fallout with a makeup wipe, and then I'm gonna put on my primer, which is going to be the Power Grip Primer by e.l.f. It's interesting, like this is a perfect example of like where the phrase you get what you pay for doesn't really hold up, because this costs $10 and I like this just as much as the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, which costs like $30, and it's essentially the same product and does the same exact thing. I'm just gonna rub this onto my nose and onto my cheeks. As I'm doing this, let me read the next question. How often do you get your hair and or nails done? I actually have not gotten my hair done professionally. I'll put it like this. It's so long that I legitimately don't remember at all. Maybe my wedding day, which was like over 11 years ago. Ooh, goodness, dropped. I've always done my hair myself. Some of y'all may be saying like, yeah, we could tell. But I don't pay for my hair. And for my nails, to get them done professionally, I haven't gone since before my kids. No, you know what? When my sister-in-law got married, that was the last time. And that was a long time ago. I want to say that was like 6 years ago. But I tend to do my nails myself with the Dashing Diva nail strips. So I do my nails, but I just don't get it done professionally. Okay, just waiting for this primer just to dry just a little bit. And then today's foundation is going to be the Fit Me foundation by Maybelline. And I'm going to be using the shade 322 Warm Honey. I really like this foundation, but I hate that it doesn't have a pump. Like it actually prevents me from using it a lot of the time because I just don't feel like dumping it out onto my hand because you can't control it as well. Like this, like I have a little bit more in my hand than I would prefer. And I'm just gonna dot this all over my face, and then I'm gonna use a beauty sponge to blend it out. And on my nose, I'm just gonna tap it in. I find that works better than a sponge. The skin on my nose is super smooth, and that makes it a little bit more challenging for foundation to adhere. But I will say that the e.l.f. Power Grip helps a lot. This foundation isn't performing as well as the Say What foundation, which is like my go-to, but I think it's doing an okay job for like, especially for the price. I think it costs like $5 at the drugstore. So that may be a case where the price does matter, but the Say What foundation costs $39. I think I'm gonna do another layer all over my face. And I feel like this foundation is applying better with my fingers than it is with the sponge. So the second layer that I do, I'm gonna do completely with my fingers. And then I'm gonna like tap it out with the sponge, like after I have everything where I want it and have like the coverage that I want. All right, next I'm gonna be using the Instabake 3-in-1 Concealer by Beauty Bakery. And this is in the shade Jamsterdam. Where do you shop for beauty products the most? I would say Ulta is my go-to when it comes to beauty products. I like that, number one, they have a good reward system, and they have a combination of higher end and drugstore, which I really, really like because, you know, you get the best of both worlds essentially. I actually shop at Sephora like relatively rarely. Like if they have a brand that Ulta doesn't carry, that's one thing. But like I really, outside of that, I don't have a reason to shop there. I would say that the second most place I shop for makeup is on the individual brands' websites. Like I enjoy a lot of indie brands, and unfortunately a lot of them aren't sold in any of like the retail stores, so I go to like their websites and get them from there. Oh goodness, I'm getting some major cake face. Okay, I'm going to be powdering my face with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in the shade Honey. Number 7, do you prefer long or short nails? I prefer shorter nails. Well, number 1, my nails don't grow. And like I said, I don't go to a salon to get my nails done. So I do them myself. I don't do the press-on nails because I'm too afraid that they're going to pop off. And then I'm going to be looking all kinds of jacked up. But I also don't want to have a hassle when I'm like using my phone and that type of thing. So I prefer a shorter length nail as far as like practicality goes. As far as appearance goes, longer nails are more beautiful. I will say that. Like if it weren't for those other factors, I would have long nails. Like back in the day when I would get my nails done like every other week, I always had longer nails. For my bronze, I'm going to be using the Hydrating Complexion Trio by Alamar Cosmetics. All right, I'm going to do the bottom of my eye. I'm gonna take a small flat brush. Ooh, got a hair stuck in my nose. All right, I'm gonna take a small flat brush and use the shade Smoke and just kind of smoke out that bottom lash. Just line my eyes with it. And I don't think I'm gonna go the whole way. I'm just gonna go part of the way. I don't want it to be too dark. In the middle, I'm using a little bit of Starry-Eyed. And I think I'm gonna bring Starry-Eyed all the way over because I don't want to use Adamantium all the way to the corner. I'm going to do my brows and answer the next question. High-end or drugstore mascara? Drugstore all the way. You know, y'all should know by now my favorite mascara is the Lash Princess mascara by Essence, and that costs $5. I mean, if I came across something that worked better and wasn't overly expensive, I would get it. Like, I think I would be willing to pay up to $20 for a mascara. So it's not even a case that like I don't think mascara is worth the money. Like if I found something that worked, I would. Oh, just so you know, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz for my brows. I'm not doing like a super clean brow look. I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, just making it look a little bit more neat. But yeah, it's not a case that I'm not willing to pay more for mascara, but I just legitimately haven't come across anything that I like more. I like drama with my lashes, and that brings the drama. Like, I've tried some that are nice, but they're like more natural than what I'm looking for. All right, now that I have my brows done, I'm going to do my eyeliner. And I'm using this eyeliner from Estate. It doesn't have any special name to it. I got this from BoxyCharm this past month, and I really like it. This right now is my favorite eyeliner. I'm not doing a wing because I don't want to risk messing it up, because I'm not wearing fake lashes today that would hide it. All right, got my eyes lined, and I'm going to use the Lash Princess mascara for my lashes. And this is the, I believe it's called the False Lash Effect version. There's several versions, but from what I hear, this one is the best. But, you know, it's so inexpensive that I think I would be willing to experiment with different versions. For blush, I'm going to be using a product called The Blush by Essence, and this is in the shade Beloved. And this, I think this costs like $2 or something. So like, as you can see, like I use a range of products from like high-end to like very, very affordable, like inexpensive products. Like I don't judge. I'm ready and willing to try just about anything, as long as like the reviews are pretty decent. That's the one thing, like I tend not to get stuff if the reviews are bad, because I don't got money to be disappointed in makeup. I think my blush is a little bit strong. That's okay. You can just blend it out, blend it out. I don't know, what do you think, guys? Like, is it like just too much? I think it's a little bit too much. I think I'm going to take loose powder. I've heard that if you put loose powder on top of your blush, it calms it down a bit. Yeah, there we go. I think once I have my lip on, it'll kind of balance it out a little bit. But I definitely don't want to look like a clown. I'm feeling like I'm getting clown vibes at the moment, so not quite a fan of that. So for the highlighter, I'm using the Revolution highlighter by Soph, with the Soph collaboration. And I want like more of like a cool tone for this look. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. All right, let me go on to the next question. Okay, think of your favorite makeup brand. Is it drugstore, high-end, luxury, or indie? I am gonna say that my favorite is indie. I think my favorite right now is Lunar Beauty. I don't have everything that Lunar Beauty put out, but I'm interested in everything that Lunar Beauty has put out. Like, I would at least consider buying it at some point. The only thing that I'm really iffy about is, oh gosh, Moonspell Volume 2. I've heard that that isn't as good as the other palettes, and this brand is run by Manny MUA, and he was very transparent when it came out that this product was produced in China. He used a different lab. Most of the time, he uses a lab based in the United States. So the new lab may not have gotten the formula quite right yet. So even though like I like the color story of it, I think I'm gonna hold off on getting it because I heard it's not as good. So like, even though it's my favorite brand, I'm not gonna get anything just for the sake of getting it. Like, I definitely want to make sure that it's a product that I legitimately want or need. But I tend to gravitate towards indie brands more than like the big corporation brands. Number one, it supports a small business, which is always a good thing in my eyes. And number two, I feel like the indie brands are more on the cutting edge of makeup than the established brands. Like there's a few more like indie brands that I haven't tried yet that I want to. And they're really exciting. Like they're not the same old, same old. Okay. For my lips, I am using the Opulust lip gloss in the shade Lavendering by Pat McGrath. Ooh, I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to line my lips with this lip liner by Gerard Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Underground. I'm gonna do that, line my lips first, and then use the gloss. I thought that the gloss was more of like a silvery kind of look, but if it's lavender, I don't know if I want to go for that. But we'll try it. If it doesn't work, I'll wipe it off. This is like such like a cool tone, like dark taupe. Like I don't know what this exact shade is, but let's see how this goes. Hopefully it's not too purpley. Oh yeah, that is straight up purple. Before I even put that on, I'm going to go and get a different color. I'll be right back. Okay, so I switched off and got a gloss by Nicole Miller, New York. It doesn't have a name, but it came in a set. I got this like around the holidays. I like these glosses, but the applicators are so small. I just want to give, I wanted to give some sparkle, kind of like to match my eyes. I mean, I'm gonna be wearing a mask today, so it really doesn't matter all that much, but still. So the look is completed. There is one bonus question that this has on it. Considering your answers to these questions, do you think you're bougie? And the answer is like, all right, there's this TikToker that talks about people who like different categories of things, and I wish I knew his name. If I think of it, I'll put it in the description or whatever, but he uses this phrase, Sophistaratchet. In between sophisticated and ratchet, like somewhere in that middle phase, like that's where I fall. Like I'm not bougie, I'm not like a super cheap person. I'm just like, I straddle both sides of it. So yes, Sophistaratchet. All right, let me take down my hair and fluff that out a little bit. It's probably, by the end of this video, it's still gonna look a hot mess, but you know, it is what it is. I'll fix it off camera. But at any rate, I wanna thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I hope you had a little bit of fun. I hope that you got to know me a little bit better. And if you did, please hit the like button. It helps me more than you know. And also, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can be aware of every single time I upload. With all that being said, thank you, and I'll see you again soon.